Hello everyone, welcome to the channel, home sweet home. Hopefully everything's okay with the stream. Wouldn't be me if something is is going off the record. I'm sorry, with the technology and all that, because in my life never worked. Never everything worked from the very first try. So should there be any problem with the stream, just let me know. Like, for example, you do not hear my voice, or there is something wrong with the image you're seeing, and etc, etc. In any case, happy new year to all of us. Hopefully the new one is going to be far better than the 2023. I don't know where you're finding yourself at, but at my place, at least in my humble opinion, shit show. So hopefully things are gonna get better into this new year. And what's better thing to start the year with rather than the Mercury direct, which happened at the very first day of the new year? Would you believe it? 1st of January, Mercury went direct at 10:07 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It happened into the 22nd degree of Sagittarius, for those who care about these things. And I am not an astrologer. I'm just saying that for your information. I mean, what degree happened, okay? But what I do, for those who don't know me, I do interpret tarot cards, and according to the tarot cards, which you can see into the thumbnail as well, they are the cards for the collective reading. Just give me a second to get on the camera preview so I make sure you all do see the cards. The first one, for the Mercury direct, that will be the Page of Pentacles, and it is influenced from one side by the King of Cups, and then the other influence of the Page of Pentacles, that will be the Six of Swords. So those are the three cards we do have, and it's a good message. Okay, it's a good message. The biggest thing that this Mercury direct actually stirs for us, and it comes from the relationship or the elemental dignity in between the Page of Pentacles and the King of Cups. It is the emotional flow, more or less. There is a practical interpretation to these cards, but let's go with the spiritual one first. So the emotional flow is going to start. The emotions we do have about, according to these cards, are now going to be invested into meaningful things rather than, empty. Like, I don't know, it haven't happened to me for a very, very long time, but I know that the one thing that investing into emotionally, that it is not worth it, it's unreciprocated love. That is one thing that investing into, at least according to me, it's a bottomless abyss that no matter how much you throw into, it devours and requires more and more, and it never delivers. So should you have such a situation in your life, then things are going to get better. Not with that situation particularly, but with redirecting those, emotions into something much, much more meaningful. So immediately, at the start of this year, it does look like that we're going to start care more for things that are going to prove their particular worth. And very likely that what this Mercury direct is going to start are friendships, which can become far bigger thing than a friendship itself. So being approached by a friend who divulges to you emotions that go beyond friendship, I'm not saying that you should say yes right away or no right away, but you should definitely consider, because that proposal itself, it's something, at least according to these cards, I don't want to make decisions for you, but at least according to these cards, is something that should not be denied lightly. Well, what they literally said is that there will be no reason for you to deny it. But like I said, I don't like to make choices for you guys, so it should not be denied lightly. That's one thing. And the other thing that these two cards are stirring, or that they are showing, that this Mercury direct is going to stir opportunities, professional opportunities, opportunities over projects, long-term things, okay, long-term things, long-term narratives into a one or another's career that are going to be presented from a higher places, bigger people into the chain of command, into the food chain of one's career, are very likely to approach the lower, the lower levels with the propositions that will grant them growth. So again, should you be proposed with a career opportunity as a proposal, you should not deny it lightly. I mean, you should, at the very least, you should make quite of a good thought into it. And what I'm saying about denial, well, because of the Six of Swords, which influences the Page of Pentacles, and what the Six of Swords puts into the picture, a sense of acquiescence. You always, when you have something new in front of you, whether it is a transformation of a friendship into a love partnership, whether it is a proposal for a business partnership, there will be always that sense of that you are doing it in acquiescence. And that's why you gotta think it very carefully before you deny it, instead of outright denying it. Because beautiful things can come out of those windows of opportunities, let's call them that way. And so that is the collective reading. Now, a few notes about the show before I move forward. There are going to be 12 readings like that, one for each star sign. I'm going to run the ecliptic, meaning I'm going to start with Aries and I'm going to end up with Pisces. It will benefit you greatly, though, if you do listen to your sun sign, rising sign, and as well moon sign. That way you are going to get the full picture of how, excuse me, I have a cold and I'm sneezing very often, which kind of like drives me quite crazy. So I was going to give you the full picture of what your overall experience is going to be throughout the next 3 months, I believe. And bear in mind that these are a star sign readings, so they will influence you to a certain extent, but very seldom they do happen to be answers to your personal questions. Okay, so if you do wish to have me reading about your personal questions, you can always go to my website, which link you will find in the description down below. And there at the very front page, you can see a full list of my services and as well their pricing. And if you do enjoy the show and you do wish to support us, you can do so either via Super Chat or either via PayPal, which again, a link you will find in the description down below. And for anyone who does so, you guys are going to have a reading at the end of the stream. That's pretty much guaranteed. And should your contribution carries no inquiry with it whatsoever, then the reading is going to be about how this Mercury direct is going to affect you personally. Just like Taco did. Taco, thank you for the $33.33, mate. Thank you. And as well, Yasmin, thank you for the $20 US PayPal support. Thank you, Yasmin. You both guys, you're going to have your readings at the end of the stream. So bear with me here. Let me put you into the stream, into the list. I'm sorry you are into the stream, but let me put you into a list. All right. So first things first, Aries. Oh, and by the way, you can track which star sign I'm reading for by pretty much seeing the glyph that stands right over here. Like in this case, Aries. So for Aries, first card, King of Swords, followed by, that is the Knight of Pentacles, or influenced by the Knight of Pentacles from one side, and it is influenced by the Four of Cups from the other. So Aries, within this Mercury retrograde, more cozier and cozier, confident within their, I will call it that way, solutions moving forward for the situations they are finding themselves at, whether it is a solution how to invest, or whether it is a solution of a situations or a problems. But bottom line here is that the more the time progresses within the Mercury direct, the more things around you are gonna make sense of contribution. So little by little, all that you do have at your disposal, people, assets, resources, influence, if you will start contribute bigger and bigger to your well-being. And the issue that we can see here comes actually from the Knight of Pentacles with the King of Swords, because that speaks that things are going to start getting more and more complicated within your love life, within your business, within your career. When I say complicated, I don't mean like problematically complicated, more like a sophistication of a complication here. So they will become more complex, they will become more challenging in a good way, okay? More things to think about, more to plan, more to analyze, more to resolve, and so on and so forth. And you're always going to have what to look forward next to. And therefore, it's very unlikely that you're going to find yourself being bored, the very least, within the next cycle. From this year moving forward, or the very least from now, I think that I should give a couple of sentences for the two most pressing topics of our lives, career and love. And as far as the career goes, within the next, for you at least, Mercury retrograde stirs the professional expression and the professional application of your behalf. So you are going to be seen as a, I don't want to say like unique asset, but a very special one. Okay, some of you are going to be about unique, are going to be seen as unique, but the majority a very special assets, which are just an important link within the chain. While love-wise, Mercury direct actually emphasize on your physical appearance, and you are going to be attracted and attractive physically. I'm not saying the emotions are not going to be there. The first thing that is going to make an impression, it is, or you are going to make as an impression, is how well you look. And also the wellness of looking is going to be the first thing that makes impression to you. All right, next we have Taurus. Page of Wands, which is influenced by the Eight of Wands. And the other influence, that will be the Eight of Pentacles. It's speed up. Mercury direct actually, it's like a oh my god, I forgot the word. It's not a dome, a dam. Okay, it's a dam of a lake. Imagine that Mercury retrograde set a dam on the flow that, you know, it is your life. And little by little, you may felt like being stagnated because you have a dam that is blocking the flow of your ideas, of your opportunities, of things that are going on for you. And now this dam is going to be destroyed completely. And all of a sudden here, you are going to be flooded with so many new things. Likewise with Aries, we are going to see what is very likely to be about your business and about your love life. But in general, this the next couple of months, you literally should be opened for anything new that comes your way, guys. And it's gonna be a bit difficult for you for a little. I know for little I know for Taurus, when it comes to astrology, I know that Taurus is a sign like security, stability, etc., which is something that you're gonna find very difficult to anchor to and to in generally to grapple to within the next couple of months. We can see that in these two cards here, Air of Pentacles, that is influencing the Page of Wands, and it shows that not everything is gonna be thought thoroughly through. You know, a friend comes to you with a plan, something brand new that brings on the plate, and when you think about it with your friend, it's just not everything has the answers to, right? And that will make you nervous. Who wouldn't be nervous? I would be nervous. But according to these cards, everything worth being investigated into, being tried into. And one of the main reasons you are going to have such a dynamic, because that's going to be a crazy dynamic, all right? One thing after another, many new experiences are what in front of you. And one of the reasons why you're gonna have that is to be reminded actually how much you can accomplish by yourself and how strong you actually can be. And this translates into your business, obviously, as a many new job opportunities that are going to be different from, you know, what you're working right now. Many different projects that you can have a chance to take a part of. Remember, that is something that you can choose to take or you can choose to disregard. I can't make choices for you. What I can tell you from these cards is that you're going to have these new things flooding your life, whether you are going to allow them to stay there or not. Entirely up to you guys, because it doesn't matter how many people offer you a job. If you say no to all of them, then you are going to have no job whatsoever. And in terms of a personal life, like romantic life, same thing more or less here. It is that you're gonna have so many new, how can I put it into words, opportunities to venture forward with. Just one thing you need to bear in mind when it comes to personal life, it is that people are gonna be a bit, I don't want to say hypocritical. What I mean is that what they show you of what they feel is not going to be exactly what they feel. What I mean is that on the outside they will look tough, but actually people are going to be quite fragile from within. So bear that in mind here. All right, next we do have Gemini. Ace of Pentacles, Five of Pentacles, Ten of Swords. Hey, Happy New Year, Yasmin. Glad you are around. Usually you watch those streams in replay, but I'm glad you are around. All right, when it comes to Gemini, a funny thing though, I'll share with you something personally. I do have a very good friend here in Bulgaria that it is an astrologer. And, you know, it's like a ritual for us for a very new year. We do readings for one another. You know, I get an astrology reading, that friend of mine gets a tarot reading. And the emphasis of this year for them was not to be adamant when it comes to rendering the first decision. And it is what we do have here. Why though? Well, for you, Gemini, for what those cards are showing, these three cards once again, okay, it is that Mercury direct actually stirs the very rare opportunity for you to go forward with your goal, okay? And I'm talking about the grand scheme of things here as a goal. You may have a goal to be happy, you know, you may have a goal to be rich. We're not talking about just a step of just a milestone of your goals. We're talking about the goal, right? And you're going to have that rare opportunity to start making this goal become a reality. So the very least what you can expect within the next few months, or couple of months, I believe, before Mercury. By the way, Pisces Moonbeam, when Mercury goes retrograde again, so we know how, for what time frame, you know, this reading is for. If you can be so kind to tell us here, because, you know, I don't want to waste time checking it up. But for that particular period of time, you can expect your business deals to be successful, you know, to bring you just a monetary gain, influence within your career field. And when it comes to your personal relationships, whether friendships, whether romantic relationships, harmonious, right? Okay, so by April, give or take, right? And what can ruin seriously things for you, Gemini? It is that Ten of Swords, which speaks for irreversible actions or irrevocable choices. You say no and you can't take that back, right? So anytime you do something, it always should be one before the last thing you do, right? There should be always a door open for a correction, for to take your word back, okay, or to change your mind. And that may not sound a lot like you, Gemini, but it does look, but with that Five of Pentacles we have here, it's a lot about a lifestyle, and that is why you may kind of have that impulse to say no, right, outright, to, you know, this opportunity of furthering your goal here for the next 3 months with that Five of Pentacles. Because, you know, Five of Pentacles is a tough card. It asks you to start living in a different way. Because, you know, people say Five of Pentacles, it's for example, it's poverty. It can lead to that, but it is not because you are not gonna make money. It is because you are gonna spend more money than you are making. So it's all about a lifestyle, okay? And in order to kind of like fix and pull the plugs, or rather like fix, cover up the plugs or whatever you call it, you know, in your both, you gotta kind of like change a thing or two about the way you do living. And that is something that is going to be required. And that is why you may want to say outright no to all that adamantly, but you shouldn't. Because again, that is a rare opportunity for you to further your goal, guys. Cancer. Well, lucky you, eh? Pisces moon meme. The High Priestess with the Three of Wands. And then we have the Nine of Swords. Just, hold on a second though, guys. Mattia, thank you for the $20 PayPal support. Thank you, Mattia. The end of the stream, you're going to have your personalized reading, what the Mercury direct is going to be for you personally, how it's going to affect you personally. Let me put you into a list. Thank you again, Mattia. And welcome to the stream. Oops. All right, let me look at the cards right now once again. So these are the three we have. Queen of Swords. It's a tough read for Cancer. Because and that is only what I can imagine, right? So a lot what I'm going to say here, it's a pure speculation in terms of what could be. But what is true, it is that little by little, or maybe all of a sudden for some of you, it's going to come to your attention that actually you're not as far as you may think you are in terms of development, whether intimate development or whether business development. The good thing though, it is that you're going to catch it on time, and you will know exactly what is not exactly wrong, but what is missing, because that is what we have here, missing. You have been, unfortunately, my friends, due Mercury retrograde, you have been beguiled into, or you have been given poor advice. That's the best case scenario, or write out a wrong advice deliberately. And that is something that is going to become obvious to you. And it is because you will find that you are not as far as you think you are in terms of whether career development or whether, you know, intimate development. Nine of Swords, though, actually here it has a positive impact on your state, on the energies with these two cards, okay, the elements of dignity. And it kind of shows that the consequences of that, they're not going to be crushing, they're not going to be even devastating, okay. The consequences are going to be more of a what if I cannot catch up with the rest of you know, of my life, and what if I missed due this due this kind of like waste of time that I have followed the wrong advice here, or the wrong direction, for a lack of better expression. Well, you haven't wasted anything other than time. You haven't wasted, at least according to these cards, you haven't wasted any opportunity. You haven't wasted anyone's resources, just your time. And the next 3 months is all about, I put it into words, is all about establishing your patterns so that doesn't happen again, right? So you make sure that doesn't happen again, being beguiled into things that will, how can I put it into words, they will not produce for you one thing or another. These next 3 months, though, tread carefully, Cancer. You may fall deeply in love. Whether it's going to be reciprocated or not, I cannot say. For some of you, it's going to be. For others, unfortunately, it won't. A nature of love. What can you do? I had one of the second or one of the latter way too many times in my life. So it sucks, I know, but it is what it is. And As far as your business ventures go for the next 3 months, sound and safe, at least according to these cards. Just you're gonna find that they're not as far into their development as you may thought they are. All right, next. Leo. The Hermit. Knight of Swords. Happy New Year, Living Girl. And the King of Swords. It's a quick and simple interpretation for you, Leo, or Leo, whichever way you want to pronounce it here. I have heard it both ways, so I've been criticized saying it in one way, then saying it another, so I just don't care anymore. Okay, so pretty simple. Mercury direct. I don't know if this is something you did into the Mercury retrograde, but going forward, you're going to start giving less and less toss about what one or another things are for you, and things for, I don't know, what you want to do and who you want to be with, right? And how you want to go about your things. And the reason for that is that you will grow more and more independent. You ain't gonna need, for example, you are gonna need less and less your family to support you. You're gonna need less and less your friends to have a good time. You're gonna need less and less your job to face your expenses. I don't know what's gonna happen to you guys, but next few months up until the 1st of April, was Pisces moonbeam said, because 1st of April is when Mercury goes direct one more time, retrograde, I'm sorry, one more time. What you gotta do in order to substantiate your life and to make things that are gonna be meaningful for you and beneficial for you pretty clear to you, very least. And you're gonna face quite a lot of opposition, don't get me wrong, because they're how can I put it into words, your maneuvers when it comes to personal maneuvers, business maneuvers, they will benefit you greatly, but most likely just only you, okay, and no one else. And therefore this is why you're going to have that resistance, because it's just, you're going to stop being used from now on. When it comes to personal life, I don't know what to tell you guys. Not a good 3 months for a personal life, because according to these cards, the very least, I mean, it's not like you're not gonna have your time, okay? It's not like, for example, if you're single, you're not gonna have any suitors or anything like that. It's just you're gonna struggle seeing the point. You're just gonna struggle seeing what contribution that person or another does for me, okay? What is in it for me? And that's what that's gonna be a nail in a coffin, and it's gonna be an issue in existing relationship as well. I'm not saying that you're not gonna see it, but it's just that's gonna be a question you will need to answer to yourself within the next 3 months. You're married. What this marriage does for me, right? Not to me, but for me. And the better the answer, the merrier. Hopefully all of you are going to have a good answer to that question, because we all know what happens when the answer is leaning in a negative way. All right, going forward, Virgo. Ace of Cups. Knight of Swords. And Two of Wands. This is an unexpected toss and turns. In a good way. Well, overall, but at least the start may not look like God. Why do I say that? Well, it's 3 months though, bear in mind. So doesn't not everything needs to happen right away, right? And being cramped into a week or two. But what we have here for you, Virgo, is that Mercury direct will close, I'll say it that way, will close undertakings and is gonna open already closed ones. So maybe I should explain it with an example, okay? Say you recently start dating someone, right? And what could be the case, I'm not saying it's likely, but what could be the case, it is the due this Mercury direct, this dating venture is going to be ended. It's just is gonna close, but another dating potential that you had before that was closed, I'd say a year ago, is gonna be again on the table. Bottom line is here, in expense on already ongoing undertakings, the potential in already dead ones is going to be revolved. So you will experience kind of like a renewed hope about one thing or another. Or another example that it is, you know, it's a part of life. It is where your current boyfriend, you see that things are not going to work out because you realize that you still love your ex-husband, and you know, you may want to try to kind of like rekindle that marriage, and go figure, but at least according to these cards, a huge chance that that can work. But just so you know, it is that you will feel something like, it's not even nostalgia, it's more of a feeling of undeveloped potential that you are kind of like burning up, throwing into the flames that you do not need to. And it's most likely that this is gonna happen in a slow progression. So it's not gonna be a thought overnight. It's just you're gonna see that and start experiencing as well, you know, that, you know, you're gonna be better off with the renewed hope rather than trying to build one from the ground zero. And therefore, what you can expect here in terms of business, old jobs to come around again, okay, projects that have been terminated to be resuscitated again on expense of a ongoing though projects. Well, for the job is you know, pretty obvious because you can't be on two jobs at the same time. So the old one should be on the expense of the new one if you do decide to take it though, okay. And I already gave examples in term of love. Should you have no partners, well, you can expect then old flames to kind of like rekindle, and whether you will allow them to conflagrate and burn is entirely up to you. All right, Libra. At once, Two of Cups, Queen of Cups, Well, this Mercury direct, Libra, is not going to go easy on your connections and friendships above everything else. At least the very, what these cards are showing is that people that are very close to you within your inner circle, they will struggle more and more to get a glimpse and to feel what you are going through, literally. So less and less people you count on will be able to put themselves in your shoes, okay, to give you moral support and in generally to feel for you, as you will have that difficult as well, you know, to feel for them. So what you can expect for this Mercury direct is to kind of like start feeling that there is a barrier in between you and your beloved, in between you and your friends, emotional barrier. And usually this barrier manifests as ego, it manifests as, I don't know, shyness, you know, you may be ashamed of sharing something that you went through, and that's why they just can't put themselves into your shoes because they don't know what you went through, and so on and so forth. And that is actually the downside of this transit we can have in front of you here. But the positive side is that, you know, you're gonna start being better and better by yourself, and you will start becoming more and more, I put it into words, adventurous and self-sufficient within the next 3 months, learning to take on any option available that is in front of you and making the most out of them. So you're going to become very, very efficient. And it's an amazing transit moving forward when it comes to job and when it comes to work. You can expect to be quite of an entrepreneur, for a lack of better expression here. Very many new ideas that will be worth exploring, that probably every single one of them can work, okay. But when it comes to relationship, it's just going to be a transit that's gonna suck, unfortunately for you, Virgo. Libra, I'm sorry, not Virgo, but Libra. So next, Scorpio. Six of Pentacles. The Devil. And Page of Cups. Thank you, Shanasa. My God. Shanasai? Is that was your name? I'm sorry, it's just... Thank you for the 20 US dollars. It just doesn't display your full avatar and your name was at the end. That's as much as I remember here. Thank you for the 20. You will have your reading at the end of the stream. Shaughnessy. Yeah, I got it right, I guess. It's a good thing for Scorpio. It's a good transit for Scorpio that we have here. We got a lot here packed, so I'm not going to get into details because I don't want to kind of like spoil the journey for you. But bottom line is that this Mercury direct pretty much are going to bring things that are tailored for us. And I'm saying this because I am Scorpio also. So it's going to bring things that are tailored for us. things which will develop super strong emotional bond to. And go figure, there will be things which are going to satisfy the insatiable hunger. Any Scorpio will understand what I'm talking about, because that's one thing for us Scorpio. We do have an insatiable hunger for one thing or another. And I don't know about you guys, but you know, within my life, there is no fulfilling that. And I will be very curious to see what will be finally the thing that is going to kind of like, I don't know, fill up my throat, so to speak. But all in all, when it comes to the business here and career for Scorpio, you are going to be at the place into the food chain of business where we can make difference and where we can establish, how can I put it into words, influence, and as well make it so, you know, our goals when it comes to business have a merit and have a breakthrough. But when it comes to love, this is where this reading truly manifests here. And it is just, it does depend on what situation you are in, but whatever misses in terms of love, for example, in my life, everything misses in terms of love, so I don't know how this exactly is going to play out. But whatever is misses there, it's going to be restored, so to speak, or you are going to have the asset for it. So if you miss love, then love comes about. If you miss understanding in it, you have the person, you love the person, they love you, but you can't understand each other, well, you got it. You miss an opportunity, same thing, you got it. It's just, you know, you're going to be Scorpio at the right place at the right time with all that. What? Have I said something wrong? But yeah, I mean, for Scorpio, that's going to be very, very powerful transit here of a Mercury direct. That will just going to make us, it's going to put us on the driving seat, guys. So I hope you get your destination right. All right, Sagittarius. Well, it's the truth. 'Cause I have no, you know, what the card shows is, you know, what is missing. But what happens with if everything is missing? Because usually, you know, you do have something built up. You know, you have something built up, and you do have thing or two that's just not present. For example, you build up your business, but you are missing the opportunity, or you have built up a relationship, but you are missing the spark and whatnot. And you know, then that's all right. You know what? You have one thing missing, and going forward, having that opportunity to fill that gap, it's a good thing. But what happens if everything is missing? If you have nothing to show up for, right? Then I don't know. We're talking miracle here, which I don't see how can happen. But hey, who knows? I mean, I may be surprised. The thing that I am scared of is that God is not the only one that can make miracles. And don't forget what cards we have for Scorpio. We had the Six of Pentacles, the Page of Cups, and the Devil. All right, Sagittarius, 3 of Wands. Oh, I apologize, guys. Almost 4 a.m. here. The Wheel of Fortune. Oh, I believe in miracles as well. That's not my point. My point is that you don't know who does it for you and what's the cost for it. That's what scares me, you know. And the Hierophant. Before I go for Sagittarius, let me tell you something that I watched. It was very recently, I believe this year. It was some kind of a show, a TV series, and there is this ballet dancer there that struggled because she didn't have any personal life, because her family was very, very ambitious and they wanted her to be the top of the top, the acme of ballet. And it's just, you know, they drove her crazy with exercises, training, you know, and all these kind of tendencies and all these kind of things. And so she prayed one night, really sincerely. She prayed to God, obviously, you know, that, you know, to grant her the wish to have a personal life. And then the picture, kind of like the frame changes toward the angle, and you can see 2 red eyes. Very well made, by the way. A fantastic cinematography there. And a woman all with tattoos of snakes comes up. It was very charismatic, though. It was eerie, but the woman itself was very eerie but very charismatic in the same time. I just can't explain it. And the girl said, "Oh my God, I didn't pray for you, you know." And a woman smiled and said, "Honey, the only difference in between me and him is that he never answers. Okay, he never answers. So isn't the only one that can make miracles, and you never know who answers, you know, to your prayers." So that's my point here. Anyway, it was a bit of a digression. So again, Sagittarius. These 3 cards. Look, it is what you're gonna get unlocked within the next 3 months. You're gonna find yourself ahead, a lot ahead. Okay, with a very yeah, it was in English. The show is Black Mirror. Okay, it's a Black Mirror. I don't know which season and what episode exactly, because they are episode for episode. You know, they're not linked. They're just stories. Oh no, it wasn't the Black Mirror. It was another one. It was for some kind of a sanatorium. About a very terminal illnesses, you know, and they were just kind of like saying creepy stories. I don't remember how the show was called, but it is in Netflix. Okay, it is in Netflix. And it is about a girl that it is recovering from a cancer and all that. Anyway, so you will find yourself, Sagittarius, quite ahead in terms of development, especially business development, but personal development as well in terms of a love. And that's can I put it into words? You pretty much have it on the bag or in the bag within the next 3 months. And the only question is going to be, it is how you want to drive it home. This is where you will feel that there is a bit of a conflict here in terms of what you think is right and what is the best course of action moving forward, and how the choice is going to stand for you. Let's give an example here for business. Is it, do you want to focus your business on building your name or building money? The kind of like the difficult part or the negative part that we are going to have here is that you can't have both. Okay, you got to choose which one you're going to develop. The good part of all that is that you will develop, right? It's just you got to choose which part of that you will develop. And it does look like that you will suffer no negative consequences, at least for now. But don't go wild on that, guys, because eventually we do pay our bills. Nothing goes for free in this life. And another thing that we can see here within this Mercury direct is that you're going to find it rather a bit more difficult to trust into people and to find the word of their reliability. So another star sign that we can see that you will rely more and more on your own personal capabilities and your own, how can I put it into words, understanding rather than, you know, the cumulative and the collective one. Capricorn. And there is a, by the way, there is a movie that's, it's a pretty good one. That is also on this topic in terms of the eternal conflict, you know, the battle in between the holy and the unholy, and it's called Unholy. That is how the movie is called, about a girl that performs miracle or perform miracles, plural. You can watch it. It's a great movie, by the way. I highly recommend it. I really watched it with discretion, and it was quite suspenseful, at least for me, though. Capricorn, Page of Swords, the Tower, and the Five of Swords. Now, this could go both ways for you, Capricorn. Whether this is going to be an amazing transit for you, because you will be flabbergasted and shocked to see that you are getting support and help from the last place you thought you were going to get one. And the way I see it is that the super sharp and, how can I put it into words, a devastating rivalry could suddenly transform into a super productive alliance, friendship, and you name it. But it could be a transit where you realize that your best friend is the biggest traitor you ever had, because that's what the best friend can become. Only the biggest traitor can be only your best friend. That's for real. Which way is gonna go for you? You know, it's gonna be different for every single one of you guys. But one thing you should know here by the look of those cards, it is don't resist it. Whichever way goes, just accept it and go along with it. Because the more you struggle against, you know, what is happening, the harder it's gonna get and the bigger the devastation if it goes the latter way, okay, with the traitor, and the less or the diminish the benefit if it goes with the former, meaning the help. And another thing, by the look of those cards, should it comes to conflicts within the next 3 months, just ignore them, you know, because there are going to be quite a few occasions that you're going to be taunted into them, okay, being challenged into verbal conflicts. Don't. Because the thing is, neither you are going to be understood, neither you can fathom the other side, and it just is going to be one needless, pointless, and futile shouting out of things that you just, you know, you just don't comprehend. Neither you comprehend theirs, neither they comprehend yours. So it will be utterly pointless to have that. I put it into words. Attempt to have that attempt to make the other side see. Hello, Star Lover. Right, Aquarius. Six of Pentacles, Two of Swords, Three of Swords. It's tough break for Aquarius. Well, first thing that you're going to start feeling little by little, it's a sense of emergency here. An equilibrium. I would even come to call it a peace. Hello, Anna. Good evening. Will start kind of like dissipating from your environment, Aquarius, and you will feel more and more pressed to make a decision. And that decision is going to be a big one. This isn't what I'm going to wear tomorrow on the prom, okay, or in the date I have. This is a decision like that is going to shape the next maybe year, maybe 10 of your life. That's a big thing that you do have in front of you. And you will feel like it's not your place. You're not grown enough in terms of whether your business isn't grown enough to make that choice for it. Or your relationship haven't grown enough to make that choice. But nonetheless, you're going to feel the pressure that you have to make the choice. And unfortunately, you're right. With your feelings, I mean, that you will have to make that decision. And the more you think about the mistake you can make, it is more likely to make the mistake. So I personally don't believe in that, but it is within the cards here. It all comes to positive thinking for you within the next 3 months. Focus on what you can accomplish rather than what you can lose. And that actually, now that I think of, that makes a lot of sense. Because I am not a psychologist, but you know, I love science, all kind of science. And one thing I found peculiar, it's a study that was made. I don't know what year, but it is made in America. And actually, the study was, an employees are going to their bosses asking for a raise or it was for a promotion, I think. And half of them were asking from an angle, you know, what they can contribute for the company if they get promoted. Okay. While the other half went for the promotion from an angle, what the company is going to lose if they are not promoted. And those that went with the second angle of a loss get more. More of them get promoted, because our brain, or the way we think, actually is more focused on the negative rather than the positive side. Is more focused on prevention rather than gains. But the thing is that the more you think about the mistake that you can make, it is more likely to make it, because that's all that the brain sees. That's all that your mind is focused on. And you know, you can even make that well, we all had it as a feeling when you are trying to put the thread into the needle, and all you think is how you're gonna miss it now, and you're trying so carefully not to miss it, and go figure you're missing it. Okay, that is because all you think it is that if you do not get it true this time, you'll have to try again. And in the 99 cases, you know, 99 people out of 100, they do try it again. So it's very important, Aquarius, to have a positive thinking, faith and belief that things are going to work out this time around. And it's just, you can't postpone that choice or whatever we do have here with that Six of Pentacles being the prime card. The time is nigh. It's actually is ripe. It's not just nigh, it's ripe, and you gotta go forward with it, guys. Whether it is a personal choice, personal decision, whether it is a love development, whatever the case. Anna, thank you for the 20. Thank you, Anna. You're gonna have your reading very shortly. Then put you into a list. All right, and last but not least, Pisces. Eight of Pentacles. Six of Cups. Queen of Swords. Well, long story short for you, Pisces, long story short, Pisces, Mercury direct. It's the time where your plans can work out. What we have here is whatever you are preparing for, whatever you're planning for, within this time frame up until the 1st of April, at some point you're going to feel, not just only feel, but that's going to be the reality as well, ready to start. Whether you're preparing a business, whether you're preparing, I don't know, to divulge your emotions to someone, whether you're preparing to ask for a promotion, if we're following the recent examples I gave, but whatever you're preparing yourself for, or kind of like planning to do, it's, at least according to these cards, guys, is going to work out. Expectations. Well, you can expect a quite of a pleasant time spent when it comes to personal life, and quite of an exciting time as well when it comes to a business venture. Bottom line is that the people that you're going to associate yourself with in the next 3 months are going to be very pleasant. The experience with them is going to be very pleasant, and the projects, the business endeavors that you're going to work into next 3 months also are going to bring you pleasure. Now, what can ruin that for you? Negligence. Straight away negligence. Being steadfast, I believe. When, you fix yourself into one thing and you just don't care about the rest, you just don't care about the details, you don't care about what's going to bring into the table, you only care about the result. Here, things for you should be more about the process, and you need to put a lot of conscientiousness when it comes to the process itself and the details of your things, the details of your marriage, the details of your relationship, the details of your business. Should you do so, well, then you're gonna be quite tight, and just things can't go wrong for you. So that was for Pisces. Oh, one more thing, guys. For those of you Pisces that are single, it's about time that you kind of like go back on the marketing quotes, if you know what I mean, once again. All right. So now the super chat. Finally at home, I can work with my decks again. I just forgot to get my decks when I went to visit my parents. It was a nice time I had there, though. It was very, very relaxing. All right, Yasmin, this is a topic I don't like to talk about too much. Those are the cards here. And Mercury direct is going to be a topic for you. Your health is going to be the biggest topic within the Mercury direct, and it is about a health improvement. The way I look at those cards and what they speak to me, it's about understanding the, how can I put it into words, the health risks about, for example, your lifestyle or your job, or you know what I'm talking about here, and how you can reprimand that, and in general fix it, how to adopt the, how can I put it into words, it's not about the right measures, because you can do just so much about the measures. It's more about the appropriate attitude, the appropriate, if you will, behavior, according behavior toward, you know, your health status, and as well how to improve that thing. Because what the other system shows, it is that there are going to be some, we're not talking about problems, it's more about delays. Okay, for example, you may be doing a new diet, you may be doing new exercise regime or whatever case, and it's just, there will be delays into the results of the healthy lifestyle, and it's going to come to your attention why those delays are. It's because there is something that compensate. So yeah, you're doing something productive, but in the same time there is a unproductive part of your lifestyle that it is impacting, and kind of like it bounces back your health, and that is something that you're going to start working on within the next 3 months. It's a long process though, okay, so it's not gonna something that's going to happen overnight. You're not going to see results overnight, and consistencies. We have the strength as a primary card here, and the strength, take it as like climbing a mountain. You cannot jump over the mountain, it's a trek, right? So you got to be patient with it, and you got to be, how can I put it into words, you got to be enthusiastic about going forward. Another thing about the Mercury direct here is that this can be a transit, this can be a time for you, and that is only if you choose so, where you can kind of like set up pretty long-term goals for yourself, like targets that can be accomplishable. So don't discard any idea you have, okay? Because pretty much within this time frame, it's going to become pretty clear to you, does it have merit or not, and if it does have merit, then it can be made real. But the biggest emphasis here is your health and how to make it better the next 3 months. Okay. Next, Taco. You're welcome, Yasmin. All right, Taco. Those are your cards. Truth be told, Anna, I haven't even kind of like noticed it, but that is yet again because I don't have much going on into my life. Oh, actually, it did screwed me over. It did screw me over with some documents. A pretty lengthy procedure that I'm having with the documents had to start over, and it happened right at the start of the Mercury retrograde now that I think of. It was the 7th of December. I believe that was the exact time or something around that point where Mercury went retrograde, and it was the 7th of December, and I was pretty much screwed over. Taco, Mercury direct. It's a period where, at least according to these cards, mate, you will bring your friends into the matter. I don't know what matter though. Could be personal matter, it could be the business, but you will just gonna start bringing friends into it. That is because friends can kind of like bring a lot of assets into the matter itself. Other than that, Mercury direct. Let me show you the cards and try to explain it to you, mate. Those two, you can see them. This suggests no risks whatsoever. This is not a period of time where you experiment and where you take on actions that you are not certain of what results they are going to produce. So that is a what we like to call in our country, it's dribbling the ball, meaning you just don't pass it unless you know exactly is the other side able to catch pretty much the ball, and is it able to return it to you. As far as it comes with your business affairs, for as much as you do have them, you can expect monetary gains within the next 3 months. And those monetary gains are not going to be all of them because of your own personal preparation. That is something you need to know, but they will rely also on other parties. And that is probably why, you know, going forward with bringing your friends into the matter, that is going to have a huge success, not just only business-wise, but also personally wise as well. As far as it goes with your personal life here for the next 3 months, that's going to be a time where, how can I put it into words, not everything you do is going to bring you pleasure, but everything you do will contribute for the grand scheme of things. I don't know how to explain it exactly, but take it off as a time where everything matters. Okay, how you what is, for example, what is your health impacts your marriage, and how is your marriage impacts your health, and how you are doing with, say, you know, your friends also impacts your health, and your health impacts how you're doing with your friends. It's just everything it's linked. It is what I'm trying to say here, according to these cards. And there are going to be situations where you're not going to be very happy with the things you got to go through, and with yeah, that's another thing that I was about to say, that you should take it slowly and very meticulously. But my point was that not everything that you will have to go through or be a part of or even do will bring you pleasure. It's not going to disgust you by any means. The worst is that you're going to find it, you know, it's like, why do I have to do this? I don't see a point into it. Okay, we could have go without that, but alas, you will have to go forward with it. And by the end of this transit, actually, you should find yourself quite stuck with odds. Okay, I don't know what about, but you will be fine. You are going to find yourself quite stuck with odds, and from there, whatever had been prepared now finally can kind of like start taking place. But the biggest thing for you is bringing friends into the matter, because they are going to have a huge contribution. All right, so don't be afraid to ask for help, as not exactly help, more like a assistance for your things, and bring your connections into the plate. Jasmine, thank you for the 20. Thank you, Jasmine. The end of the stream. Yeah, stacked with odds, like having a lot to work with. Not odds against you, but you have the odds, right? All right. Next, Mattia. You're welcome, Taco. All right, Mattia, these are cards we have for you. So we can see is that this Mercury direct is going to impact your business. Unfortunately, at least according to my cards, Mattia, is not going to be in a great way. The impact most likely is going to affect unfulfilled promises or deals that will impact in a negative way your business in terms of delays. You have business plans, you are relying your partners, or I don't know, people that you're working with, to hold up to their end of the bargain. They don't, and these business plans are set in halt. So huge delays here when it comes to business that will unfortunately have to make you reconsider some, I don't know, business ventures or business structure. It's just is going to be a transit that is going to, how can I put it into word, test, okay, your career moving forward. And in extreme cases, I'm not saying that this how it's going to turn out for you, but you know, it's something that I'm obliged to say here, is that in some cases these cards may even lead to a complete restructuring to the same business, like you kind of like take it down and start from scratch, rebuild it, okay? Or right out think about a, I don't know, new direction, like new line of business, kind of like clearing this one out and starting anew from a new angle that we do have here. But unfortunately, Mercury direct for you is going to be a time where you will struggle to make people do their job, okay? So, and that will have some quite of a unpleasant impacts on your business. As far as personal life goes, it's gonna be a bit more exciting when it comes to personal life, but um, these excitements for what those cards are showing should not be a foundation of a something long term moving forward. So next 3 months are the months where, and I don't know how to put it into words, Mattia, here. Um, a month where what will be important and substantial for you will stay strong, and the rest is going to fall apart. All right. Next, I want to say, you're welcome, Mattia. I'm sorry that I had to be a harbinger of a bad news, but it is what it is. You know that I don't sugarcoat stuff. All right, Shona, say those are cards. So I'm gonna be brief because you know I don't want to kind of like overflow you with things, but basically Mercury direct is gonna be a transit for you, where you will have the majority of it dappled with the good news in terms of a success. So this is gonna be a transit where, how can I put it into words? The contracts you sign are going to be successful, the deals you make are going to be successful, and that includes emotional deals as well. So, can I put it into words, Sean, to say, throughout the transit, at some point, you are going to have yourself full in terms of that, you know, you will think of it and you will say what else one needs from thy life, right? And at that point, you will see yourself not just only happy, but like your dreams have been fulfilled. But you can expect throughout this transit, Sean, say, your labor to bring the fruits you so much hope so. That is what we have here. It is your time. Literally what those cards are saying here is that it is your time. So enjoy it. But long story short, it's a transit of a very successful, many successful ventures for you. All right, next, Anna. It's basically trying to say it's success on all fronts. That's how we can look at it. A love front, career front, friendship front, you name it. It's just success everywhere. All right, Anna, those are the cards. And we're talking about commitment, or rather the problems with one's commitment. Now, what we have within those cards, Anna, it is that this commitment will be desired from the both parties, you and the other party. I don't know. I think that it is a romantic commitment by the look of the cards. I don't think it's a business one, but, you know, who knows? It could be a business commitment with a romantic incentive. Whatever case, it's a commitment that you both want it, but there is something in between, right? There is something that is preventing that commitment. And that's going to be the major topic for you, or that is going to be the prime topic that Mercury direct brings for you. And it will be, and the whole thing is going to be about how can you make it work. Now, this isn't going to be the question, should we make it work or not, but it is more about how can we make it work. And I do think, by the look of those cards, it is that a way forward will be found in terms of how can you make that commitment work. It will require a lot, though. Okay, a lot of commitment obligations, rules that you and the other party needs to live up to. But according to these cards, Anna, it would be worth it. Okay, it all would be worth it. And another thing, this Mercury direct may be the same person, maybe someone else or something else. But this Mercury direct is going to bring something or someone that is going to take care for you in a very, very good way. Don't resist it. That is important. Just don't resist it. Allow someone or something, and I'm saying something because it could be an organization, for example, to take care for you. All right. And last but not least, Jasmine. You're welcome, Shaughnessy. You're welcome, Anna. All right, those are your cards. So for you, Jasmine, the problems in terms of your intimate life are going to be the subject here, for as much as you have them or not. But that's going to be the subject, and that's going to be the topic, addressing those problems and addressing your intimate life or the lack of thereof, if you do have that lack. Because what we do have it is that you will find yourself disarmed. I don't know how to put it into words, but it's more like finding yourself in a path the next 3 months that it will feel way too good to be true for you, that is. So that could be a gentleman that fulfills all your expectations. If you do have a boyfriend right now, or a husband, you know, things with him could be going very, very well, because that is what we do have here. And still there are going to be some, how can I put it into words, not presumption, but it is like skeptical, okay, for the future going forward, for what we have into those cards. Or, you know, it is working right now, but knowing my luck, it's gonna end one day, right? So that may be your not your status, but how can I put it into words, your standpoint moving forward. And it's just what those cards are saying here for you, Jasmine. Just go with the flow. That all it takes for you to solve your problems when it comes to the intimate life. You just go along with it, right? Someone likes you, go along with it. You have, for example, a boyfriend that wants to spend time with you, more time with you, go along with it. And all these things. Because, you know, I don't know how you're going to take that, Jasmine, but according to these cards, you may not be the source of these problems that you do have into your intimate life, but for some reason, not going along with your love life, it's feeding them. And according to these cards, you just gotta stop helping, you know, these setbacks and these problems, and just go along with the opportunity that your love and intimate life is presenting to you. Because in the next 3 months, you will be presented with the opportunities, in fact, the very good ones. And you should take them. You should just go along with them. So that's gonna do it for tonight, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your generosity, and as well for attending. We're gonna see each other next time, and until then, bye.